big twist in a year-old death investigation. Tonight on our news.
Found shot, ruled a suicide, but now a murder. I'm Delvado Emmanuel, and the case regarding Evan Fox takes a chilling turn.
Plus, another brush fire erupts in North Abaco. Volunteers jump into action, but dry conditions fueling fears of more to come. Why residents say they're still not getting the help they need. Also,
tune in to our news tonight with the biggest boss, Ricky Rose, you heard?
an international hip-hop star brought the beats and the vibes to Abaco this holiday weekend. But the real showstopper? Danielle Miller breaks down the night you won't want to miss. Then in our news at 7:30, applying for a U.S. tourist or business visa could soon cost thousands more. New rules launching next month require hefty bonds to ensure visitors don't overstay. Find out if you're affected. Our news live at 7 starts right now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. Tropical activity is starting to heat up out in the Atlantic as we move into the peak of the hurricane season. This is Tropical Storm Dexter, formed off the Carolina coast over the weekend, but forecasters say it's not a threat to us at this time. Still, there are two other systems on the radar, including one just off Florida. Things are getting active a little earlier than usual. We want to bring in meteorologist Greg Thompson at the top now with what we're tracking this week. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendino. It is getting very active across the tropics. We have 3 areas that we're watching. Dexter, which is now a tropical storm, and then there are 2 other areas, National Hurricanes, and are giving a medium chance for formation. We'll share that in a short while. But Dexter is a system that formed just about a day or 2 ago. It's presently across the northwest Atlantic. That system was present position actually 38.0 degrees north, 63.4 west, winds up to 40 miles per hour with some higher gusts up to 52 miles per hour. This system is racing towards the northeast in the at open Atlantic, so we expect this to stay out there and become really what we call a fish storm, and Dex is not really going to pose a problem to anybody. We are also watching an area just to the southwest of where Dexter actually formed. National Hurricane Center giving this area a medium chance for formation. Do expect a low pressure system to form, something possible becoming tropical. And then we have a very vigorous tropical wave moving in the eastern Atlantic. National Hurricane Center giving that a medium chance for formation. But this one is the one we will continue to monitor. It has a lot of water out there, a lot of warm water. It's actually, most of the models are going to take this more towards the northwest and turn it away from most landmass. But it has a long time before we see that, so we're going to continue to watch this one very, very closely over the next couple of days. Tropics getting active, and we're asking you, if you haven't done so already, make sure you have your hurricane plans in place. Back to you, Kendino.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Just a reminder, the things, as you heard there, can change very quickly this time of year, even without a direct threat. Now is a good time to make sure your hurricane plans are in place if you haven't already, as things expected to continue to intensify over the next several weeks. You can head over to rnews.bs to find the latest and watch RTV Storm Navigator. If you need a little bit more help determining your plan, it's available now at the R News YouTube channel. All right, now to a shocking reversal in a year-old investigation. Evan Fox, believed to have taken his own life, was in fact murdered. That's the official ruling from a coroner's court, and now his grieving family left with even more questions. Delvado Emmanuel has the latest.
A coroner's jury ruled that Evan Fox was murdered and did not take his own life. Fox's body was found in his Dodge Ram truck in bushes off Frank Watson Boulevard on April 29, 2024. 2 days after he was reported missing. On that day, police say drone technology made the gruesome discovery. According to then police press liaison, Chief Superintendent Kristen Skippings, a shotgun was nearby and they initially suspected suicide.
Officers discovered a truck some 2.5 miles, fitting the description of a vehicle owned by a male who was reported missing sometime last week. Officers on arrival to the scene discovered the partially decomposed body of a male lying outside the truck.
Last week, a pathologist confirmed Fox was shot in the chest and the pellets tore through his heart. The shotgun never touched his body, and it revealed that he may not have been capable of firing at the time due to the large casing. However, physical evidence showed that it was unlikely that Fox pulled the trigger. According to firearm expert Inspector Harrington Curry, the shooter was likely 10 feet away. Pathologist Dr. Karen Sands adding that there was no evidence that Fox was shot in the chest at close range. Hours before the discovery in 2024, our news spoke with Evan's mother. She recalled the last conversation with her son.
Last Wednesday evening, he called me and he said he just called to tell me a joke, and we chat for about half an hour. And on Thursday, he messaged me with a good morning and a hug. On Friday, I sent him a WhatsApp message at about 3 o'clock, and I only got a single text.
Now, in an interview in today's Tribune, Fox's wife says she knew all along that her husband did not take his own life. As for what will happen next, well, the case file will be sent back to police for further investigation, which will no doubt bring them back to this very area where the body was first discovered. Reporting for Our News from Frank Watson Boulevard, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Delvado. A 28-year-old man is in custody tonight, charged with murder in last month's deadly shooting on West Street. Prosecutors say Jermaine Nulis is the gunman who opened fire on Jimmy Laurenville as he was getting water from a pump on July 18th. Nulis appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley today. He wasn't required to enter a plea and bail was denied. He's expected back in court on November 27 for a voluntary bill of indictment. And police are also investigating two separate shootings in the capital, just an hour apart early Tuesday morning. The first happened around 2 a.m. on East Bay Street. A 19-year-old woman leaving a business, police say, when someone in a green Japanese vehicle opened fire, hitting her in the foot. She was taken to hospital, is in stable condition. Then just after 3 a.m., shot spotter alerts led officers to Rosedale Street. Two men, ages 31 and 29, were reportedly leaving a nearby business when they were both shot. Police say one is in serious condition, the other is stable. And bushfires in North Abaco, once again raising alarm as dry conditions fuel flare-ups across the island. The latest blaze erupted in Cedar Harbor, where pine forests have been burning off and on for months. Our news cameras captured the scene as volunteers jumped into action. Volunteer firefighter Nicholas Lowe says the Cooperstown team moved quickly and managed to contain the flames before they caused serious damage. But with the heat and dry brush, Lowe warns the threat of wildfires isn't going anywhere, and residents still calling for more support and resources.
It takes 30 minutes just about from there to Crown Haven. Treasure Key, you're looking at about an hour plus, in a fire truck. So I don't think other than that, having a truck down that way and the volunteers to operate that is about the biggest need with trucks. Now, one thing that we've seen this year we would look for would be equipment more than anything. Was everybody's biggest concern, something that could push a fire break instead of having to wait for the companies, around town, which have been a huge help, between the local governments organizing the equipment companies to bring a bulldozer and push a road. But if you have one that's on standby with volunteers, then that would be a big help right now.
All right, the Bahamas tightening the screws on financial crime, and the gaming industry is in the spotlight. Bahamas Gaming Board hosted a major workshop today aimed at cracking down on money laundering, fraud, and terrorist financing within local gaming houses. Held at the National Training Agency, the session comes as the country gears up for its next round of international evaluations, where falling short could hurt the country's financial credibility. Financial Intelligence Unit Legal Counsel Joanne Creary says the training is a critical step.
The topics we're going to be covering today for the licensees, we're going to speak about, well, what is money laundering, what is terrorist financing, what is proliferation financing, and of course how those risks can affect not only the gaming sector but the financial sector in general within our jurisdiction. And then of course we're going to talk about their obligation of ensuring that they report suspicious transactions to the Financial Intelligence Unit. That is a major part of the anti-money laundering regime, in that those reports not only assist the FIU, but they assist law enforcement in their investigations.
Now, Creary says phishing scams remain one of the most prevalent threats, particularly targeting the elderly and youth. Meanwhile, officials from organizations like Bahama say these workshops really help bolster internal controls and keep the sector up to global standards.
I would say they're extremely helpful. They strengthen not only in our industry, the gaming industry, but financial services as a whole. It's important that that we're always on the forefront of being compliant and ensuring that we have the strongest processes and programs in place.
All right, that was Bahama's VP of Compliance, Felice Aubrey. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, we go back to meteorologist Greg Thompson. He's standing by in the Weather Center with your first look at temperatures. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Kendino. Welcome back, everybody, for a quick look at conditions around the islands and outside our studios. 87 degrees is our current temperature. It is still warm. Feels like temperature at 95. Winds out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour, so we have a slight breeze out there. But it's not shaving much off the temperatures. Current temperatures right now around the family of islands, all in the mid to upper 80s, 86 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, and in Governor's Harbor. 88s, Nicholstown, Andros, Alistown, Bimini, Great Harbor Key, Central Bahamas. 88 in Kemps Bay again, then we pick up 86 in Black Point, Exuma, Arthurstown, Cat Island. 84s, Georgetown, that's Exuma, Port Nelson, Rum Key, Cuban Downs, and Salvador. Deadman's Key, 85. And 85s once again in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay. We have a pair of 86s, Abrams Bay, Meguana, Matthewtown, Providenciales, 86. Matthewtown in Agua, you are the warm spot at 87 degrees. Satellite radar composite. We have the northern end of a tropical wave with some moisture associated with it moving towards the area. Also, weak surface trough across the Bahamas. That system will continue to push towards the west, bringing a lot of this cloud mass as well as some showers and thunderstorms across the area. So we're looking at some cloudy conditions for at least a day or two before things clear out, and temperatures should take a bit of a reprieve during that time frame. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Coming up in sports, a familiar face takes it from the course to the sidelines to lead the senior men's national team at the upcoming FIBA America.
Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
More than 20 years in the making and still growing. Everywhere you turn, our news is there. From Charybdis to Caracom and Chogam, the commendation of a queen, the coronation of a king, the controversies, our culture, in times of conscience and collective grief, connecting the stories of a country coming into its own, from then to now and still to come. Our news is everywhere, always there when it counts.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our news at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's...
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. He wore the jersey with Bahamas across his chest for years, and now Lou Rawls Nairn will lead from the sidelines in his first opportunity as a national team head coach. Nairn has been named the head coach for the senior men's national team ahead of the 2025 FIBA America set to take place this month in Nicaragua. He takes over at a historic moment as the Bahamas returns to the America for the first time in 30 years, last appearing in 1995. The 30-year-old brings a combination of national team experience and rapidly rising coaching credentials, currently the associate head coach at Bowling Green State University. A former Michigan State Spartan, he served as a graduate assistant at his alma mater under Tom Izzo. In the NBA, he worked in player development for the Phoenix Suns, served as an assistant at Southern Utah, as well as the head coach at Sunrise Christian Academy, where he led the program to a national Elite 8 finish. It's rare for any Bahamian college hooper to return home and play in front of the home crowd. Frederick King is making the most of that opportunity here at the Bahama Hoops Summer League. King dominated the first of his Murray State Racers 3 exhibition games with 23 points and 11 rebounds in a win over Calgary. He followed with 16 points and 7 rebounds in another win over Raw Talent Elite earlier today. The Racers will complete the series against the Bahama Select team tomorrow at 11 a.m. For the second time in as many weeks, some of the country's top youth sailors competed against the best from around the world in California. Eliza Denning was the top finisher out of 6 sailors for Team Bahamas, 14th overall in the Youth Women Gold Fleet. Her top finish was 4th place in race 12. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the United States Coast Guard says the firm of the imploded Titan sub used critically flawed safety practices. Plus, Sean Diddy Combs denied bail as he awaits sentencing. And the United Nations warns of escalating rights crisis, violence, and displacement in Haiti. The story when our news returns.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record, we challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution.
Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. A damning new report says OceanGate's safety failures and toxic workplace culture directly contributed to the deadly Titan submersible disaster. According to the United States Coast Guard, the company ignored inspections, used intimidation to silence safety concerns, and bypassed vital protocols. Chief Executive Officer Stockton Rush, who died in the 2023 implosion, was found to have shown negligence that may have warranted criminal charges had he survived. All 5 people aboard were killed instantly when the sub lost structural integrity during its dive to the Titanic wreck. A federal judge has denied bail for Sean Diddy Combs ahead of his October sentencing, ruling there are no exceptional reasons to release him. Combs was convicted last month on 2 counts of transporting individuals for prostitution. The judge said the conviction mandates prison time and cited Combs as a flight risk and a danger to the community. He also pointed to violent hotel footage from 2016 showing Combs attacking then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Combs has been jailed in Brooklyn for 11 months. His sentencing is set for October 3rd. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake struck off the southeast coast of the Dominican Republic early Tuesday, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. The quake hit 24 miles from Boca de Yuma and was felt across the country and a neighboring Puerto Rico. No damage was reported. Hours earlier, a 4.1 quake rattled Haiti near Port-au-Prince. That tremor was shallow but also caused no reported damage. All three nations lie along major fault lines where the Caribbean and North American plates meet. The United Nations sounding the alarm over what it calls an extremely worrying human rights crisis in Haiti. From April to June alone, more than 1,500 people were killed and over 600 injured in gang violence, most of it in the capital, Port-au-Prince. The UN says kidnappings, sexual violence, and forced displacement are also on the rise. The UN urging more international support, especially for a multinational security mission and efforts to stop illegal arms trafficking. Nearly 240,000 people are now displaced as aid agencies warn of severe funding shortages. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was August 5th. Then in our news at 7:30, the crawfish season off to a roaring start. Danielle Miller got an inside look as fishermen brought in a hefty haul just days into the season. And as back-to-school season approaches, Lucaya International School showing how small classes and tailored teaching help every student thrive. In tonight's City in Focus, when our news returns.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me across my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're now.
He always told me that this was something that fathers do with their daughters to express love and affection.
Because I am a woman, my children are presumed to take the citizenship of their father.
For God's sake, I mean, just morally, domestically, we are entitled to correct the problem that was done in 1972, 1973 when the Constitution was made.
We are overrun with sexual predators, but even worse, we are overrun with people who protect them.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having business in a box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
On this day in 2023, a bold and unsettling crime shook Grand Bahama after someone broke into several courtrooms at the Magistrates Court complex. Officers were called to the Justice Center just after 8 a.m., and within 2 hours, police say they had a suspect in custody. Turns out the building wasn't guarded overnight and just checked daily, with surveillance cameras throughout the property. But police say those cameras played a key role in tracking down the suspect so quickly. In 2024, Team Bahamas took a tough hit at the Paris Olympics. Reigning Olympic champ Stephen Gardner, named the country's strongest medal hopeful, shocked fans by pulling out of the men's 400-meter moments before his heat. There was no warning, just a DNS or did not start on the big screen. His team later confirmed an injury forced him out. Meanwhile, Shawnee Miller-Weibo started strong in her 400-meter heat, but pulled up halfway through the race. She walked the final stretch, greeted by applause, but ended with a DNF or did not finish. Also in 2024, Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt marked Emancipation Day with a heartfelt address in Fox Hill, reminding Bahamians the struggle for freedom didn't end with abolition. She spoke of unity, purpose, and the ongoing need to fight injustice in all its forms.
Ladies and gentlemen, although our chains are no longer there, we are unshackled. But are we mentally free? We must free ourselves from mental slavery. We must free ourselves of the hate, disrespect, and distrust which overcome us sometimes. We must walk boldly to embrace opportunities which exist.
The Abaco skyline lit up this holiday weekend with an international hip-hop star, but just what made the experience even more special? Well, we are learning that it was, in fact, the location. Entertainment and lifestyle correspondent Danielle Miller was there.
It was an unusual treat for the family islanders in this small community. Hip-hop superstar Rick Ross took to the stage in the small Abaco community of Crown Haven this weekend for the Black Bottle Fest at Top of the Bay Cafe, hosted by Foreign Currency Promotions. An unexpected power outage in the settlement did not deter excited fans from filling the venue. In fact, a delayed start seemed to spark infectious energy from the crowd, who charged the stage with electric vibes. As dollar bills rained from all corners of the venue and fireworks lit up the night sky, Rick Ross, aka The Boss, gave hundreds of concert goers exactly what they came for. The Grammy-nominated artist performed several hit songs from his extensive catalog, leaving the crowd with much more than just a concert.
I play you rich forever. Culture so beautiful, the people so beautiful. You know, it's very positive, it's very powerful. You know what I'm saying? Bahama has its own identity, and when I come here, I want to enjoy every aspect of it.
Now that was a vibe. Partying in the island sure is sweet. And everyone that was in attendance can agree with me, including Ricky Rose. Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Well, all right, Ricky Rose, thanks so much for that, Danielle. If you want to watch our story again, and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That's going to do it for us in News at 7. Up now is our Megan Shepard. She has got the latest headlines. Megan, are you a Rick Ross fan? Or
Somewhat. Some of the songs.
Yeah. Well, I got a favorite. It's called You Know I Got It. I think he did it with Jay-Z and Frank Ocean.
Yes.
That's a number one for me from Rick Ross. But listen, those folks, they stayed out there and the light was off.
They had a ball. They had a
Big
ball.
party.
That's the type of energy you need.
Listen, Denny, the luckiest.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Ken. Well, coming up tonight, the crawfish season off to a good start. We get an inside look as fishermen brought in a hefty haul just days into the season. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight, the U.S. State Department announcing a 12-month pilot program aimed at cracking down on cases of overstaying. This means your next tourist or business visa could require a bond of up to $15,000. Plus, a 26-year-old man is being held on attempted murder charge stemming from a shooting in Montel Heights back in July. And then the lobster season already proving fruitful over on the island of Abaco. Our Danielle Miller was there as fishermen hauled in their first catch of the season. And then it's getting active in the tropics. Our Greg Thompson has the latest on Tropical Storm Dexter. We've got the details for these stories and more in just a moment.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today. Embrace
Embracing the spirit of the summer festivities, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, highlighted the true meaning of Goombay at the Exuma Goombay Summer Festival.
When Sir Lyndon Pinling, our first Prime Minister of independent Bahamas, launched the first Goombay in 1972, the mission was for the...
Family, how you look so down? Set them all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
At Struckham, we're all about peace of mind. With the latest tools and technology like Pest Pack, managing pest control just got easier. It's simple. Log on to the portal to review past services or monitor trends. Just tap Service Reports to access detailed records and see how we're keeping your business pest-free. You can even customize permissions so your teams in maintenance and health and safety have real-time access to everything they need. With Pest Pack, you're in control, anytime, anywhere. Get ready to simplify pest management with just a few taps.
Welcome to our news and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Your next U.S. visa could cost you more, thousands more in fact. This as the United States is set to roll out a 12-month pilot program that could require bonds of up to $15,000 for some tourist and business visas. Launching in 2 weeks, the program aims to crack down on visitors from countries with high overstay rates or insufficient screenings and vetting systems. Effective August 20th, consular officers will have 3 options for visa applicants subjected to bonds $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000, but will generally be expected to require at least $10,000. The funds will be refunded if travelers leave the country in accordance with the terms of their visas. This comes as President Donald Trump has made cracking down on illegal immigration a focus of his presidency. A similar pilot program was launched in November 2020 during the last months of Trump's first term in office, but was never fully launched due to the pandemic. Now, the State Department hasn't said how many people will be affected, but countries involved will be named once the program takes effect. A 26-year-old man is being held on an attempted murder charge stemming from a shooting in Montel Heights. Prosecutors say Alvin Morley Jr. shot 40-year-old Bertram Paul in the back on July 26. He was not required to enter a plea to charges of attempted murder and possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life when he stood before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley. Bail was denied and the matter is adjourned to November 27th for the presentation of voluntary bill of indictment papers. Police believe that the incident was connected to another shooting that involved Morley's father, Alvin Morley Sr. He was at a friend's home when a lone gunman opened fire on him. While running away, Morley fell and broke his leg. A short time later, his son, while riding a motorcycle, allegedly opened fire on an occupied car, hitting Paul in the back. A construction site argument turned violent on Monday afternoon, leaving a 19-year-old man hospitalized. Police say the fight broke out around 2 p.m. between 2 men on Carmichael Road. Things escalated when one of them reportedly struck the other in the head with a tool, then stabbed him multiple times with a sharp object. The injured man was taken to hospital by private vehicle and was last listed in serious condition. A 23-year-old man was later arrested in connection with the attack. Police on Grand Bahama are looking into how a gun ended up in the restroom of a local eatery. It happened shortly before 7:30 p.m. Monday on Bayshore Road. Officers were at the location when they made the shocking discovery. No arrests have been made, but the weapon was seized and investigations are continuing. Well, just days into the crawfish season and already fishermen are seeing a large and steady catch. Our Danielle Miller stumbled upon a group of fishermen offloading their recent catch while in Treasure Key this past weekend.
It feels great to see this tail on my plate again. As hundreds of fishermen head out to sea, I know they're more excited than me for open season. Thank you. I came across these Foxtown fishermen packaging their first catch of the season. It's spiny lobster, or what we call crawfish season. Our cameras caught up with the tail weighing at the Wooden Fish House on Sunday afternoon. Fisherman Dwayne Russell confirming over 1,000 pounds of crawfish caught only 2 days into the season. Russell says a catch of this magnitude takes more than skill. It's also about careful organization with little room for errors or negligence.
Is that we go, we make sure all condos, aka traps, are ready, and also we make sure that all the boats are prepared with the proper gearing and everything. Make sure they register, make sure you get your compressor license and things, so you don't get locked up out there.
As the season was preparing to open, Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Jomo Campbell, publicly boasted about last season's success. While Russell agrees, there are some pricing concerns.
We had a lot of lobsters around. The price was okay. We were satisfied at $10, but the price was better than the season before that. $20, $21, you know, that was awesome. We need to get it back there.
Of course, we had to ask, where's the best place for crawfishing?
I think we have more working grounds in the islands because we have a lot of keys, a lot of reefs, a lot of bars and different stuff.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Thanks so much, Danielle. Well, key to a successful crawfish season, the weather. Tropical activity is starting to heat up out in the Atlantic as we move into the peak of the hurricane season. This as Tropical Storm Dexter formed off the Carolina coast over the weekend. But forecasters say it's not a threat to us at this time, but still, with 2 other systems on the radar, including one just off Florida, things are getting active a little earlier than usual. Let's bring in meteorologist Greg Thompson now with what we're tracking this week. Greg, how's it looking?
Yeah, thanks, Megan. It is getting very active across tropics. We are now watching 3 areas. Dexter, which is now a tropical storm racing towards the northeast with some 40-mile-per-hour winds. We'll talk about that in a short while. But the remainder of the tropics, a couple of systems, a National Hurricane Center watching down near the eastern far Atlantic, and then one just near the Carolinas. But of course, Dexter, the new system out there, formed about 2 days ago. System is moving towards the northeast at 12 miles per hour, 38.0 degrees north, 63.4 west, winds are up to 40 miles per hour, and we have some higher gusts. The system will continue to race off towards the north and east and away from our area. And then, of course, as I mentioned, National Hurricane Center watching another area near the Carolinas for some possible tropical development. That system has about a medium chance as well, but that system will move away from us as well, and that should keep things quiet. Then we have a vigorous tropical wave in the far eastern Atlantic. National Hurricane Center giving that a medium chance for formation. We will watch this one closely because it has a lot of warm water out there in the open Atlantic, but most of the models are turning this system towards the northwest by the end of the week. That's a quick check on the tropics. We'll talk more about these systems later on in the newscast.
Thanks so much for that, Greg. And just a reminder that things can change quickly this time of year, even without a direct threat. Now is a good time to make sure your hurricane plans are in place if you haven't done so already, as things are expected to continue to intensify over the next several weeks. Head over to ournews.bs to find the latest and watch Our TV's Storm Navigator. If you need a little more help determining your plan, it's available now at the Our News YouTube channel. Still to come on Our News, the key to your child's educational success. In tonight's City in Focus, our Candido Knowles shares how a Grand Bahamian institution is putting the focus on the individual needs of the student. Plus, it's all systems go for the 5th annual Jesus March. Organizers say they're taking the message of Jesus' love to a new community this time around. We'll tell you where. And then a Bahamian filmmaker is gearing up for the streaming release of his 6th film. Find out which Bahamian creative is coming to a screen near you when our news returns.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution. Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court Apartment Complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Candino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
He took a PVC pipe because I questioned him whilst I was 7 months pregnant, and he hit me across my stomach with it, pushed me down on the bed, and he would rape me.
I told his daughters he's a rapist because that's what he's been doing to me when they're in there.
We've already shown you how students at Lukaya International School are learning to ask better questions and think critically, and how small classes are building both confidence and curiosity. Tonight, as parents across Grand Bahama get ready for back-to-school season, City in Focus returns to LIS, where our news anchor Candino Knowles tells us educators are making sure every child, no matter how they learn, is set up to succeed.
Many parents, back to school comes with one big question. Will my child thrive here? At Lukaya International School, head of secondary Nigel Kirkby says the answer begins with understanding how each student learns. And if they don't learn the way you teach, then teach them the way they learn. Kirkby says it's a central point of the school's process. He says the school's small class sizes make it possible. And when students struggle, teachers notice.
We constantly have meetings, and we have a situation where we have a document that teachers can report whatever they see within the lesson with certain individuals. Sure. And as a group of teachers, we come together and we come up with an action plan.
And it's not just about learning styles. Kirkby says it's about support, and that includes formal interventions.
And we have a specialist teacher whose job is solely to look after those individuals with learning difficulties. Yeah. And what we do is we work closely with the Ministry of Education and with private companies to get these students evaluated. And once they're evaluated, we'll then work out an IEP, individual educational program, and then we can monitor that and create that within our system.
For Kirkby, the joy comes in what happens next, when students start to love school again.
They know they have to come, but they're actually quite happy that they are coming to the school. And they are happy to come to the lessons, and for the most part, they're laughing, they're joking, and they're enjoying the environment, which is nice to see.
And for parents, that may just be the best back-to-school gift of all.
We've just had a young boy just come back from Madrid. He went to a soccer camp over there, and to see the joy in his eyes and the love of what he's doing there, and the fact that he now realizes that doing well in school can help him achieve what he wants to do through his soccer. It's those sort of realizations and that sort of happening is what is great to see these students being successful.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Candino Knowles.
Thanks so much, Kendino. The annual Jesus March is back for the 5th year, and this time around, they're taking a new route as they march through the streets of the capital. Founder servant of the nonprofit organization It's Our Turn, Beijing Rogers says the march leaves from R.M. Bailey Park at 9 a.m. on August 16th. Traveling through the streets of Camp Road and ending at Montague Beach, where they will commence baptisms. As they parade through the Camp Road community, the group will not only be raising prayers and songs of worship, but they'll also be distributing meals to residents. Rogers says the Jesus March was always designed to be more than just a procession, but an active ministry rooted in their mandate to serve all people.
Just as the Bahamas has parades for junk canoe and other sorts of parades, this parade isn't just a parade. This is a battlefield march where the saints come together unified for the body of Jesus Christ. The first ever, the entire church to evangelize, because Jesus comes when everybody knows the Lord. And so this is a way of us coming together to do that through worship and through prayer, and to tear down the demonic strongholds and walls that are taking our educational system, our government system, our homes.
As for those who plan to attend, Resource Global Director Destiny Bryce says your participation and donations will go toward those in need.
The things that you can bring is water. That's always helpful. It's going to be a little humid, and also it's important to bring money for a shirt if you want to wear your Jesus March shirt, or if you want to make a donation to the cause. We support orphans, marginalized youth, and a lot more people that are in need of help.
All right, awesome. Bahamian filmmaker Dion Gibson is gearing up for the streaming release of his 6th film, The Pages of My Heart, on Prime Video. The Pages of My Heart drops Friday, August 22nd, and will feature a cameo from Bahamian entertainer Das Quay, who also serves as the film's executive producer. Gibson, based in Tampa, Florida, released his first film, An Encounter with the Messiah, through Walmart in 2015. The movie took 4 years to make due to financing issues, the firing of a cinematographer, and a hurricane. Despite the setbacks, Gibson says he is grateful for the process and shared with us how doors were opened after release.
It was difficult, but I'm so glad I went through all those things early on. And another thing, man, at the premiere of our movie, the screen went black for about 30 seconds. We had to go and get another cut of it and come back, but everybody stayed. All the audience stayed, and they watched the rest of the movie. So yeah, the first one will definitely try all of your patience and challenge you. But once you get that one out of the way, once you do that first one, you're off after that. Doors will open to you. People will see that and see that you can create a project, finish a project, and get it to the market. That first project, it was incredibly difficult, but it opened the door for everything we're doing right now.
The Pages of My Heart, originally released in 2023, and won an award for Best Supporting Actress at the Tampa Bay Underground Film Festival. Gibson held off on a wider release, saying he felt the movie did not have enough comedy in it. And that's where Das Quay Adderley joined the film as an executive producer and actor.
I kind of laid out what we wanted to do with it. He jumped on board as producer, and we had a couple scenes that we hadn't filmed yet, so he came on and filmed those scenes. And we were actually trying to film those scenes in the Bahamas, but it didn't work out, so we ended up flying over here, and we shot those on location here in Tampa, Florida. The next one, I'm hoping that this next one we can shoot, a really nice movie in the Bahamas for our next one.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, one former national team member takes on the role of head coach, a homecoming here at Bahama for Frederick King, and we head back to California for the ILCA 6 Youth Worlds.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now city.
What do you get when you're searching for the whole truth?
Less than 24 hours after the body of 12-year-old was discovered on a track road on Faith Avenue, police say they...
You get the most comprehensive half hour of news.
Breach of the party's constitution. Behind me is what remains of the Victoria Court apartment complex.
Our News at 7 brings you that truth in all of the day's top stories, sports, and our view of the world. Join me, Kendino Knowles, weeknights for Our News at 7. Stay with the team you already trust.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. He wore the jersey with Bahamas across his chest for years, and now Lou Rawls Nairn will lead from the sidelines in his first opportunity as a national team head coach. Nairn has been named the head coach for the senior men's national team ahead of the 2025 FIBA AmeriCup set to take place this month in Nicaragua. He takes over at a historic moment as the Bahamas returns to the AmeriCup for the first time in 30 years, last appearing in 1995.
To be honest, I still trying to process everything. I feel extremely blessed. Obviously, anytime you get to represent your country, it's an extreme honor, so I'm just super excited about it.
The 30-year-old brings a combination of national team experience and rapidly rising coaching credentials, currently the associate head coach at Bowling Green State University.
Well, the number one goal is to win, right? We never put on our jersey to lose. The number one goal is to win. The number one goal is to play as hard as we could possibly play and to continue to represent the Bahamas the way we've been doing and showing people what Bahamian basketball is all about.
A former Michigan State Spartan, he served as a graduate assistant at his alma mater under Tom Izzo. In the NBA, he worked in player development for the Phoenix Suns, served as an assistant at Southern Utah, as well as the head coach at Sunrise Christian Academy, where he led the program to a national Elite 8 finish. As a player, he represented the Bahamas at both the junior and senior level, most recently at the Olympic qualifying tournament last July. It's rare for any Bahamian college hooper to return home and play in front of the home crowd. Frederick King is making the most of that opportunity here at the Bahama Hoops Summer League. King dominated the first of his Murray State Racers 3 exhibition games with 23 points and 11 rebounds in a win over Calgary. He followed with 16 points and 7 rebounds in another win over Raw Talent Elite earlier today. The Racers will complete the series against the Bahama Select team tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Yeah, but Coach Miller, his big motto is, compete, find a way. No matter, how hard we go, we got to find a way to win. So, it's all about, building a motor and just pushing it. We trying to be the fastest team on the court and let it fly.
For the second time in as many weeks, some of the country's top youth sailors competed against the best from around the world in California. Eliza Denning was the top finisher out of 6 sailors for Team Bahamas, 14th overall in the Youth Women Gold Fleet. Her top finish was 4th place in race 12. Last week at the ILCO 4 Championships, Denning finished 11th out of 100 competitors, including a first place finish in race 10. In the Silver Fleet, Macy Jack Nash finished 62nd overall, while Sienna Jones finished 75th. Sailing in the Youth Men's Silver Fleet, Norman Cartwright Jr. finished 92nd overall, highlighted by a 3rd place finish in race 9. Johannes Martiz was 132nd, and Eric Jensen finished 140th. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. So Frederick King had a pretty good homecoming, but we're still trying to find out who had the best one. It was either Tom Holland and Spider-Man or North Carolina A&T. Best homecoming ever. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, celebrating Emancipation Day the Grand Bahamian way. The West End homecoming rush and boat race drawing locals and visitors for a day of fun in West End, the best end. Plus, Greg is back in the Weather Center with a complete look at temperatures across the country. Stick with us.
The concert is going to be dealing with how life was in the Bahamas in the past, what has changed, and what still remains the same. I'll be taking them down, I hope, not Memory Lane, but Memory Avenue. There's a big area we're going to be covering.
Nassau, get ready for a night you simply won't want to miss. For the first time in over 40 years, experience an evening with Eddie Menace live at the Amphitheater, Nassau Cruise Port.
Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
More than 20 years in the making and still growing. Everywhere you turn, our news is there. From Charybdis to Caricom and Chogam, the commendation of a queen, the coronation of a king, the controversies, our culture, in times of...
This is our news. Welcome back. Activity picking up across the tropics. We are approaching the peak of the season. We have still a couple of weeks before we actually get there, but things are getting busy in the tropics. We're starting to see some systems popping up near the Bahamas. We have Dexter, which is now a tropical storm. The current position places it at 38 degrees north, 63.4 degrees west, moving towards the northeast at 12 miles per hour with 40 mile per hour winds. The system will continue to stay well away from landmass and into the open Atlantic. Should fall apart by the early part of the ending part of this week. And then we have another area that the National Hurricane Center is watching just near the Carolinas for some possible tropical development. Area of low pressure expected to develop. That system will pull towards the north and east and away from us as well. Could leave us with some moisture across the area. And then of course the far eastern Atlantic, a very vigorous tropical wave with disorganized showers and thunderstorms associated with it. It will continue to track towards the west as well. We will watch this one closely as it's expected to stay out there in the Atlantic for quite some time. By the end of the week, could gain some tropical characteristics as well. And of course, most of the models be turning the system towards the northwest. So we are expecting it to stay away from landmass, but we will watch this one rather closely. Taking a look at the future forecast, moisture associated with an area of disturbance to the east of the Bahamas. That will be tracking towards the west, bringing us some cloudy conditions as well as some showers and thunderstorms. Some of those showers will be locally heavy, thunderstorms will be strong to severe at times, and that should continue through Thursday with most of the activity moving across the northwest Bahamas by that time frame. Boating forecast for all areas tonight through tomorrow. Your winds will be rather nice, east to southeast 10 to 15 knots. They will fall light variable at times across portions of the Bahamas. Seas running 2 to 4 feet over open waters. Low tide is at 12:30 in the morning. Your high tide takes place at 6:09 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, with that moisture plume coming across our area through the next couple of days, we keep showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Temperatures will take a bit of a dip, so we could see some break from that heat advisory that the Bahamas Department of Meteorology had for us. But temperatures will start to climb back near the 90-degree mark by early next week, and showers and thunderstorms could be spotty during that time frame. Of course, we are going to continue to watch those systems out there in the open Atlantic, so this is the time now for you to get your hurricane plans in order. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Greg. Grand Bahamians were out in full force this Emancipation holiday weekend from east to west. One of the biggest highlights, the West End homecoming rush and boat race, where both residents and tourists joined in a celebration that had it all. Native dishes like fish and panny cake, exciting games, a high-speed powerboat race, and live Bahamian entertainment, including music and a junk canoe rush out. The late, well-known West End businessman Artis Neely was also honored during the powerboat race, adding a special moment of reflection to the fun. General Manager of the Ministry of Tourism's Grand Bahama office, Nuvalari Chowdhury Singh, says they wanted to make this year extra special. While Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Kingsley Smith, says West End remains a top spot for local tourism.
People always want to get into West End, not just on the Saturdays or Sundays, but the entire holiday weekend, what we have this weekend. And so we wanted to add our touch to it, and to do that we want to put on an entire festival.
West End was always the place
for domestic tourism first and foremost. And so anytime there's anything happening in West End, you will see the influx of residents throughout this island coming into West End. And so I would imagine tonight, even though they have a number of events going on throughout the island, West End still have its fair share of people.
And it wasn't just locals enjoying the festivities, these visitors from Florida sharing their experience at the Homecoming Festival.
Oh my gosh, we love West End. We've come here almost every year.
Bring our kids. It's the most amazing family vacation.
Definitely pretty amazing. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Have a safe and wonderful evening.